No need to hit the panic alarm, but the Calgary Flames have a significant concern. Potential opening game starting goaltender Dustin Wolf remains unsigned as many other RFA attendees around the league are getting locked up. But is Wolfy even guaranteed to be the starting goalie come October? We're going to dive into all of that in this video. But first, I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I am Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And let's dive straight into this one with the goalie carousel that's kind of been going on with the Calgary Flames. As we know, throughout the history of this channel and over the past 6 to 12 months, we can say the Flames have undergone some significant rumors, some trade sagas, and some actual changes involving the goaltending. You know, we really haven't been all that stable when it comes to it since Mika, and now he's up in the rafters. We gotta find the next one to go up to the rafters, and that man could be Dustin Wolf. But either way, I've got a good article here for you today. I sound like Steve Harvey on Family Feud. We got a good one for you here today. Meet the Griffith family. Here we go. Oh, you don't want to meet them. Just kidding. I love my family so much. And the Flames Digest family. I just love family in general. Ohana means family. Let's get in before I absolutely lose it. Flames depth chart redos. Which goalie will win the starting job? This is from Wes Gilbertson from the Calgary Herald. He said, "Who's new to the crease in Calgary and who has the inside track on the top job?" An updated look at the Flames options between the pipes. The main piece here we're going to take out of it is who has the inside track on the top job. And of course, the concern for Flames fans, and more so just for the organization, is of course getting Dustin Wolf actually on a contract here. Whether it's most likely just a small little bridge contract, I suppose, pretty cheap, low term. Either way, we'd like to get him signed. Let's dive further in. Recent additions around the crease with this goalie carousel going on. Devin Cooley was among the Flames' top targets on the free agent market, and they were pumped to get his signature on a 2-year contract, a deal that starts as a 2-way in 2024-25 before upgrading to a 1-way the following winter. That almost makes it sound like he will be the backup behind probably a Dustin Wolf. It sounds like Vladar might be the man on the way out. But either way, Cooley, 27, is currently penciled as the third stringer, although he'll push Dan Vladar and Dustin Wolf for big league playing time. Kirill Zarubin, who was welcomed in the third round of the 2024 NHL draft, will continue to hone his skills in the junior ranks in Russia. He's another recent addition between the pipes. I know we have others further down in the pipeline as well, but those are the recent additions. And the recent departures, in case you somehow forgot, the Flames finally pulled the trigger in mid-June on a Jacob Markstrom trade, sending the 34-year-old workhorse, the starter at the Saddledome for the past 4 seasons, to the New Jersey Devils in exchange for a first-round pick in 2025 and behemoth blue liner Kevin Ball. Great trade, honestly. Wow, still so pumped about it. After 2 winters as the backup with the Wranglers and some impactful contributions in the community, Oscar Dansk will not be re-signed, which is, you know, too bad. Maybe just didn't fit in with the plans for the Flames/Wranglers for the future. He was never really going to come up to the NHL level. Great guy, but just no longer his time here in Calgary. So there you go. That's kind of been the recent goalie carousel. We've been through a lot. I guess what we really want to know now, though, is that there is still work to be done with Wolf. What's going on with Wolfy? I think that's what most people care about. He's seen as our goalie of the future. He's proved it all at the AHL level and had some decent starts at the NHL level as well. That one against Montreal, remember, he just stole the show, and there's some good ones. He almost got his first career NHL shutout in game number 82 for the Flames. I think it was Pospisil took a dumb penalty at the end of the game, and the Flames gave up a goal on the penalty. On the PK, they weren't able to PKK that P, if you get what I'm saying. I should really just stick to what's actually being said here. Let's continue. So, still on the to-do list, there are enough masked men on the roster, so don't expect any further additions, but the Flames will need to negotiate a new contract with Wolf, who remains a RFA. We are curious whether the 23-year-old last spotted on horseback in the Calgary Stampede Parade will land a 1-way deal. He remains waiver exempt for 1 more season, but has nothing left to prove in the minors. And no way do we ever want to see him go down to waivers. We should get this guy signed, and sooner rather than later. Now, what has been happening is other RFA attendees that are comparables have been getting signed recently. So let's take a look at the first one here. Some nice tweets from good old Ryan Pike here. He said, if you're the Flames in Dustin Wolf's camp, does Sogard's deal provide a bit of a template for a deal? Mad Sogard, of course, is, I guess, a backup goalie in the Sens system. You know, the Sens have played so many goalies over the past few seasons. It's hard to really dictate who they actually are going with for it. I know they just traded Mandolese to Colorado, but either way. The Sens re-signed 23-year-old RFA Mad Sogard to a 2-year deal, the first one being $775,000 at the NHL level or $225,000 at the minors. And year 2 becomes a one-way. I know it doesn't show the full tweet there, but that's pretty much what is going on. So Pike said, Sogard's another 2019 pick. He has 27 NHL games with an .884 save percentage and 96 AHL games with a .908. Similar amount of pro experience as Wolf, but Wolf has superior numbers. So Wolf will probably get a better contract than that. He is a better prospect overall, has way better numbers in the AHL, of course. Doesn't have as many games in the CHL, but does have superior stats to what Sogard has provided. Now, the other big signing that has happened recently that does concern this is Arturs Silovs, the man who came in for the Canucks in the playoffs and still played really well, almost won them that series against Edmonton. If only Elias Pettersson could have actually woken up and gotten some points, then Vancouver could have been losing to Florida in the final. But either way, Silovs gets 2 years at $850K. Now, Silovs is definitely a third stringer. It's not like he's coming in to be the number one guy. He could end up being the backup, of course. We'll have to see what happens between the pipes in Vancouver, but you would assume Demko is absolutely the starter going forward. So I would assume, again, I know this is another RFA goalie signing, but I would assume Wolf probably goes for a little bit more than that, you know, probably closer to that $1 million. We will just have to see. Now, he doesn't have tons of NHL experience. Silovs proved he can do it at the biggest time kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to see. I think the significant concern can be really wrapped up with a nice deal. The Flames have so much cap space, especially over for the next couple of seasons, which you would assume this contract goes over. So either way, I think this can be resolved quite easily. But let's see who we talk about Wolfy as the starter. Will he even be the starter? We're going to jump back to that article and talk about the verdict here. What does Wes Gilbertson think? Who will actually be the starter come October? And he had to say, if the season started tomorrow, this will likely be the biggest storyline at training camp, the battle between Vladar and Wolf to be Calgary's opening night netminder. And who knows how Cooley will do in training camp as well. While Vladar has the most experience with 66 career starts on the biggest stage, most believe Wolf has more upside, and the goaltender of the future certainly will have an opportunity to prove he can be the goaltender of right now. The best guess is these two will wind up with a near even split in workload in the coming season, although that could depend on Vladar's recovery from hip surgery and also if he's in, trade talks and gets traded. But the 26-year-old is aiming to be back on the ice sometime this month, but he'll be careful not to rush it. We would never want Darth Vladar to rush into things and aggravate an injury. He can totally cruise. It's fine. Wolf can start the season sort of thing. I think game 1, Wolf will probably get the start, and that's how it should be. I think that's what Gilbertson is kind of alluding to here in saying that Vladar, he's starting to skate, but we don't want to rush things. That's all good. And either way, honestly, for the next couple seasons, the question between the pipes will be nothing compared to what it was this season, so we can kind of cruise from here on out. Now let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, everyone's favorite part of the day. And this one has to do with yesterday's video. In case you missed it, it was kind of on some of our younger D prospects. And I like this comment here from day one supporter Colin Cruisinusty. He said, I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually starting to get really stoked about how high our ceiling is regarding several of our defensive prospects. Very intriguing. Couldn't agree more. It has been so long since we've been this excited about this many defensive prospects. I know back in the day we were excited about Raz potentially coming up a little bit further back, TJ Brody. I know there's other names in there. I get that. But either way, there's so many right now, and it's so exciting to see just how good our future could be. We already have the good young guys. Ball hopefully will be, the stalwart big boy at the back. We got Grushnikov as well, who apparently is really, really good. Wasn't even mentioned in yesterday's video. But either way, it is exciting times to be a Flames fan. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you like what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.